Many companies across several industries were mostly affected by COVID-19 pandemic. These industries struggled to adapt to the changing economic conditions, and faced challenges in maintaining profitability, and protecting the health and safety of their employees. In this video, we will explore the top 10 industries most affected by the COVID-19 recession. Some of the industries includes 1. Tourism and hospitality. The pandemic had a devastating impact on the tourism and hospitality industry, with many companies being ruined as a result of COVID-19. The sudden stop in international and domestic travel due to lockdowns and travel restrictions led to a significant decrease in demand for hotels, resorts, and other tourism-related businesses. As a result, many companies in the tourism and hospitality industry had to lay off employees and seek financial assistance to stay afloat. Many also had to close their doors temporarily or permanently due to the lack of business. The long-term impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the tourism and hospitality industry remains uncertain, but it is clear that many companies have been severely ruined. At number 2 is retail. Retail companies have been among the industries severely ruined by the COVID-19 pandemic. Many non-essential retail stores had to close their doors, or significantly reduce their hours due to lockdowns and social distancing measures, leading to a decline in sales and revenue for these businesses. Some retailers that have been particularly hard hit include department stores, clothing retailers, and specialty stores. These companies had to lay off employees and seek financial assistance to stay afloat, and some have even gone bankrupt as a result of the pandemic. Also, the accelerated trend of e-commerce, as consumers shift to online shopping, has put additional pressure on brick-and-mortar retailers, who are already struggling due to the pandemic. Number 3 is manufacturing. Due to lockdowns and disruptions in the supply chain, many industries were ruined, as they were forced to shut down or reduce production as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Employees in the industry lost their jobs and faced financial difficulties as a result of the drop in demand for their goods. The supply chain disruptions caused by the pandemic also had a major impact on the manufacturing industry. Many companies were unable to obtain the raw materials and components needed for production, leading to a decrease in output and a decrease in profits. 4. Aerospace and aviation. The aerospace and aviation industry was one of the industries most affected by the COVID-19 pandemic and recession. The decline in the travel industry resulted in a significant drop in demand for airline services, resulting in widespread layoffs and financial difficulties for the aerospace and aviation sector. Numerous carriers had to ground their planes, leave or lay off staff, and look for government bailouts to remain above water. The closure of international borders, which further reduced flight demand, compounded the industry's difficulties. The pandemic had an effect not only on the airline industry but also on the demand for aerospace products and technologies, as well as for aircraft manufacturing and maintenance services. This resulted in financial difficulties and job losses for those employed in these industries. And at number 5 is entertainment and media. The COVID-19 pandemic had a significant impact on the media and entertainment industries due to the lockdown measures and social distancing guidelines that stopped many in-person events and activities. The need for entertainment and media products and services significantly decreased as a result of the forced closure of cinemas, theaters, and live events. The industry's employees lost their jobs as a result of the shift to online streaming and the closing of these venues. It was especially hard for many small entertainment businesses and independent artists to adjust to the new normal and find new ways to reach their audiences. The pandemic likewise disturbed the creation of movies, TV shows, and other media, leading to delays and financial challenges for studios and production companies. Changes in the industry's business model and revenue streams were brought about by the shift to online streaming and home entertainment, which also altered how consumers access and consume media. Before we continue, kindly help us to put this video in front of many that may need it by clicking the like button and sharing this video with people that it will interest in your network. Thank you for staying tuned. Moving on to number 6 is education. The education sector has been significantly affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Traditional education has been disrupted, and difficulties have arisen for students, teachers, and administrators as a result of the necessity to switch to remote or hybrid learning models in many schools, colleges, and universities. The digital divide was a major obstacle to remote education because not all students had access to the necessary technology or internet connectivity to take online classes. This disproportionately impacted marginalized communities and resulted in educational disparities. Remote learning was challenging for many students, due to a lack of social interaction and peer and teacher support, in addition to technological difficulties. Without the structure and support of in-person classes, it was hard for students to focus and learn well. Additionally, the pandemic had a significant impact on the finances of educational institutions. Due to a decline in enrollment and revenue, many institutions were forced to reduce their budgets, which resulted in program elimination and layoffs. 7. Food and beverage. The food and beverage are some of the industries greatly affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. With lockdowns and social distancing measures in place, many restaurants and food service establishments had to close their doors, or significantly reduce their capacity. These businesses suffered significant financial losses as a result, and many were forced to fire or furlough employees. Additionally, the food and beverage industry had to adjust to the new pandemic realities. Some restaurants were forced to offer only takeout or delivery, while others were forced to offer groceries or meal kits. As a result of these shifts, there had been an increase in competition, a decrease in margins, and a lack of staff. The food and beverage industry supply chain was also disrupted by the pandemic. Importing raw materials and ingredients had become harder as borders closed, and transportation was disrupted. This led to price increases and shortages of certain items, making it difficult for restaurants to offer their usual menu items. At number 8 is healthcare. The healthcare industry was greatly affected by the COVID-19 pandemic and recession. The demand for healthcare services significantly increased, due to the surge in COVID cases, and the need for testing, treatment, and vaccines. This put a strain on healthcare systems, and caused a shortage of resources, including personal protective equipment, PPE, and hospital beds. Additionally, the recession caused financial challenges for healthcare providers, as many people lost their jobs and health insurance. This led to a decrease in revenue for hospitals and clinics, which caused financial strain and layoffs. The pandemic and recession also led to a shift towards virtual healthcare, as many people are now hesitant to visit hospitals and clinics in person. This has caused a rise in telemedicine and online healthcare services. 9. Transportation. The demand for transportation services decreased, due to the economic downturn and the reduction in travel and tourism. This resulted in a decline in revenue for many transportation companies, leading to layoffs and reduced hours for workers. In addition, the transportation industry faced challenges in maintaining safety protocols and protecting the health of workers and passengers. This led to increased costs for personal protective equipment, PPE, and other measures, which further impacted the industry's financial performance. Finally, at number 10 is energy. The energy industry plays a vital role in powering our daily lives and the global economy. However, the industry was greatly impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. The drop in demand for energy products and services, particularly in the transportation, manufacturing, and commercial sectors, led to a decrease in revenue for many energy companies. This, in turn, led to financial struggles and job losses for those working in the industry. For example, the drop in demand for gasoline and diesel, due to reduced travel and transportation, led to a decline in revenue for oil and gas companies. This resulted in layoffs and reduced hours for workers in the industry, as well as a decrease in the value of energy stocks. Additionally, the decline in demand for electricity and natural gas led to a decrease in revenue for utilities and energy service providers. This also led to job losses and financial struggles for those working in the industry. In conclusion, overall, the COVID-19 pandemic and recession have had a widespread impact on the economy, and many companies across various industries have struggled as a result. It will likely take some time for these companies to fully recover and for the economy to return to pre-pandemic levels. We have come to the end of this video. Would you like to share other industries that were mostly affected by COVID-19 pandemic? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and make sure you turn on your notifications so you will be notified when next we post a video.